Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Orange, Connecticut Zoning Board of Appeals meeting for November 1st, 2021. My name is Noah Eisen. I'm the chairperson of the board. Before we start, I just want to introduce the members present. We have Kathy Bradley to my right, Greg Natalino to my left. We have Pat Pianza and Matt Pickering remotely. That's correct, guys?
Yes.
Pat?
Yeah.
Okay. In addition, we have Bonnie Sayat and Deb Stonick, who's our secretary and reporter, and Jack Demerking, Orange zoning official is here also. Just a couple things. It will take 4 positive votes of this board to approve the variance that you are applying for. We have 5 members, so we'll have a full board tonight. Any variances must be acted on within a year. In order to be effective, the variances must be recorded on the land records for the town of Orange. Even though I only see one person in the audience, I should put on the record that everybody will give an opportunity to speak. Anybody wishing to speak in favor of the application will be given an opportunity to do that. Anybody wishing to speak against the application will be able to do that. And if there is anyone speaking in opposition, the applicant or his representative will be entitled to a rebuttal. Anyone addressing this board in person are asked to do so from the podium up to my right in the front of the room here. I'm going to read the agenda. Notice hereby given that the Orange Zoning Board of Appeals will hold a meeting on Monday, November 1st at 7 p.m. at the Orange Town Hall, 617 Orange Center Road, to conduct a public hearing in the following. Petition number 1822 submitted by Volga and Yuva. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Imanova. I don't know if that's correct. If not, I apologize. For a property known as 12 Woodside Drive, a variance of section 383-31B and section 383-30C regarding maximum ground coverage and setback from other property line is required. Application materials on file at the Orange Zoning Office. A copy of this notice has been filed with the Orange Town Clerk, dated Orange, Connecticut, this 18th day of October, 2021. Noah Eisen, chairperson, Orange Zoning Board of Appeals. I think there's one change, though. Correct me if I'm wrong, Jack. There's only one variance needed, and that's the side yard variance. And the maximum ground coverage is not required.
That is correct, Mr.
So
Chairman.
the only variance, so we'll amend that. The only variance we're requiring is a variance for the side yard, which is
That's correct.
383-31B. Having said that, I see Mr. Heiss is here to present his case for his client. So please step forward.
Should we do minutes first?
Oh, I'm sorry. We do have the minutes from last. Yeah, come on up. Is there a motion to accept the minutes as written? Greg makes the motion. Yes. I second the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Minutes are.
Aye.
All right. Mr. Heinzen, please
Thank you very much.
identify yourself for the record. Go ahead.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead. Just,
Okay.
you got to identify yourself.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Robert Heiser. I'm a longtime resident of Orange. Oh, good. Okay. Start all over. Good evening, everyone. My name is Robert Heiser. I'm a civil engineer and land surveyor and a 55-year resident of Orange. I'm here on behalf of Vugar Imanov, who owns a home on number 12 Woodside Drive. It's a house that was built around 1950. At the time, it was complying with the 1950 zoning regulations. And I made a copy of the 1950, I think it was 1951 zoning regulations to everyone in the package I sent you. And about halfway down the column for 1951, it's A, residence, the area of the lot, the allowable area of the lot, or minimum area of the lot is 20,000 square feet. And then if you go across, the maximum building area is 25% of the lot area. The front yard setback is 50 feet. And the minimum width of each side yard, is 10 feet. And then there's a little bit of a formula they have there. It must total the aggregate of 30% of the front of the property. So 30% of 100, it's 100-foot property would be, I would guess, 30 feet, so that the side yard would be 15 feet on each side rather than 10 feet. Have I interpreted that right?
Looks good to me.
Okay.
I'm not going to doubt you.
All right, so when the building permit, this is just a little bit of historical background. When the building permit was issued, first in the 1940s, it was withdrawn and redone. And if, again, you go to your packet of information, should be clipped to the
A little more casual in the drawings back
clip to
then.
the zoning regulations.
Yeah, yeah.
I got that one.
Yeah.
They're cross-eyed. You could see the permit that was prepared March 18th, 1952 by Carl Peterson. And I'm sure there's probably no one here that knows who Carl Peterson was. Is there anybody know who Carl Peterson was? He, in addition to being the zoning enforcement officer, he was the building inspector, the zoning officer, electrical inspector, and the chief of police.
Firefighter.
So, my. He was a very busy man. Anyhow, the setbacks, if you're looking at the March 18th, 1952 building permit, on the garage side, it was 16.3 feet to the property line. And on the, what would be the east side of the property, it was 18 feet to what is shown as a glassed-in porch on the survey that I have presented you with. Again, as a little bit of background in the history of the area, Woodside Drive was one of the early subdivisions after World War II, and they were going by zoning regulations that were put together around 1935, and in the they're constantly changing, I guess. There's another sheet in there that has zoning regulations from 1944. What I'm trying to do is confuse everybody completely so that the variance will, hopefully be approved.
So this variance is for the side yard, right?
Sorry.
This variance is for the side yard?
Just a side yard. Just a
Just
side yard, right? You're just looking for a side yard variance.
Just a side yard variance. Yeah, according to Vin and Jack's conversation with Vin on the area side yard variance, it's not required. Although it's 10%, the zoning requirement in 1951 permitted 25% ground coverage, and we're at 15%, which is
Is that the
considered.
same issue as this?
The same exact one.
Same issue as
It's
the-
actually, my conversation with Mr. Heiza is what made me look into the other application for the same reason, because we were. No, it is on. Sorry, I'll talk closer. But yeah, long story short, yes, same exact situation as the.
Because of Bob here.
Because of Bob here, yes. So you have him to thank for that.
I'm not the one to thank you, Bob, but there's a person building a gigantic gym who owes you a debt.
Okay. Is that good?
That's, oh, yeah, good for them.
Okay.
Should be seen
long
as
as
good
it's
for the town,
good.
but good for them.
All right, getting back again to a little bit of the history of building in 1951. one-car garages were normal. Houses were modest in size. They tend to run maybe 12 or 1,400 square feet. And compared to this day and age when two-car garages are the standard, you see more and more three-car garages and occasional four-car garages. Anyhow, Mr. Minoff is dealing with a 1951 circa one-car garage, and he needs a two-car garage for a couple of reasons. One of the reasons that one of his vehicles is a pickup truck with a minimal name on the side. He's a remodeling contractor, and his pickup truck has a sign on the side of the door. It's probably 12 by 18 and marked dark colors just to identify him. It's not some big sign that is Dayglow orange or something. Anyhow, some of the regulations that are in the works right now are going to be calling for vehicles such as this to be garaged, and he would have no place to keep it. And the other reason is his primary reason had been just to have the vehicle in a garage and out of the way. So
It's an old lot, with a small house.
Sorry?
It's an old house with a small lot in compliance back in the early 50s.
Totally in compliance back then. Yeah, no, not totally. What wasn't in compliance, and I was going to bring that up in a minute, what wasn't in compliance was the setback from the street. In 1951, 1944, going way back, the setback from the street was always 50 feet. In this case, the chief of police must have been chasing a bad guy or something, because we wound up with a setback of only 40 feet instead of 50 feet. And that actually I look at as being one of the hardships. If you look at the plans, the house plan, with a bump out for the proposed garage addition being pushed up within 40 feet of the setback of the street line, and the sideline, the west side line of the property angling further out as it goes north, and the property widens out. If the whole unit was slid back 12 feet, the variance would still be there, but it would be much less. Do you understand what I'm talking about?
So
Yeah.
let me ask a question here.
Yeah,
So,
by moving everything back, making the house in compliance with the 50-foot setback.
so what's happening to garage one? What is
Well,
this?
the garage is even with the front of the existing garage. And what is crossed
Yes,
is
what's crosshatched?
the addition.
So the addition is here and the addition is here.
Oh, that was an addition granted in 2018.
So that's already done.
That's already done, approved, built, and being lived in, yeah.
But I'm looking at this, the garage is not even with the addition. It juts out a couple feet.
Right.
That is correct.
Okay, I can't tell who's speaking.
That's Pat.
Thank you.
Bob?
Yeah,
Yeah, I got
the reason
it.
why they did that, because he wanted to get 24 feet deep.
Oh.
He's only got 22 on the single.
Yes.
Do you
Okay,
see it?
Just so we're clear, so it does jut out a little bit.
Yeah, a
And that's
couple feet.
because you need the 24-foot length.
Right.
Okay.
That is correct. That is correct.
Pickups are extra long.
And the hardship, what do you think it is, Bob?
Sorry.
The hardship, what do you?
The hardship is that if the house had been pushed back, if the whole thing had been pushed back, the variance would have been less because of this property line bowing out. See, as
Yeah,
this
I could
goes-
see if you pushed the house back, the angle would
It's wider.
Yeah, nice, I can see that.
No, the angle goes into the property, not out. If you push the house back, that the line of the property line doesn't run parallel with the existing house and garage.
Right.
It runs inward. So even if you push the house back, you still run into the same problem.
It's a guy remotely.
Oh,
Pat, he's not, he's on the,
okay. Oh, you're zooming.
you're zooming.
correct.
Okay. Okay, somebody else.
That's all I'm saying to you.
Zooming.
So in other words, according to this map that you created, I assume you drew this site plan, it shows the property line going invert into the property. So in other words, you have the existing house, existing one-car garage, and then you show the 24-foot addition. If you push this whole house back, you're still running into the same problem with the property line.
Well, there would be a property, still be a property, but it wouldn't be as
That's
bad.
correct. It still would be a problem. No matter if it complied or not, it still would have been a problem.
Still needs a variance no matter what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would be
No,
a
That's
I-
correct.
maybe a-
That's correct.
The 11 feet would bring it back to here, and this would be the variance required rather than that whole area.
Okay, but we're at the here and now, so let's not.
Sorry?
This is what it is. This is what you're looking for.
Yeah,
So whether
yes, right,
the house is,
right.
you're not gonna move the
Well,
house
that-
back.
That I'm saying is the hardship. If the house is back further, all we'd be looking for is this rather than the whole amount.
So you're saying the hardship is unique because of the placement of the house,
Yes.
not the,
Placement of the house in relation to the property line widening as you go toward the rear. If you go back far enough, it will,
well, we can't reinvent where they placed the house, but perhaps the hardship is the angle, the way the lot is angled here. That's
That's
probably,
correct.
that might be the hardship. We're good? I'm talking to video, gentlemen.
You
can't really
need
hear
to be by
Bob
the
at all.
microphones. Thank you.
Yeah, it should be good if you
So the property is the,
Oh,
you hear me, Bob?
he needs to be by the microphone.
You gotta be by the microphone, Bob. By the microphone,
By the microphones.
Right here.
right here.
oh,
Needs
back
be
to the
by
microphone,
Yeah,
okay.
sorry, I'm sorry.
So. So you have a unique shaped piece of land here. And they placed the house here for whatever reason. There might have been
Yeah.
a reason back in 1952.
Well, the whatever reason is a bigger question mark because instead of putting it 50 feet back, you put it 38 feet back.
So you had to get a variance to do that, probably.
No, I don't think he did.
No.
You just did it.
There was nothing in the records to show a variance.
But he probably required one, because it wasn't at 50 feet back then?
This house is 41 feet back.
They placed it, wherever they placed it, doesn't, you weren't there, were you, Bob?
What I'm,
Nobody's telling
what
me
I
no.
think I'm saying is that the scrutiny with the chief police being the zoning enforcement officer keeping track of these things was possibly less than perfect.
Okay, well, that works for me. For whatever reason, they placed it here. And it's somewhat of a unique lot in that it's got Route 34 on the front and Woodland on on this side here. It's at the west side, I believe. Okay. All right, what else you want to tell us?
Another thing I'd like to point out is that this variance is reasonably in compliance with the rest of Woodside Drive. Many of the houses are on small lots. I won't show it to you, but it was one of the early subdivisions. The biggest lot was Bogies. That was 20,000 square feet. Some of the other lots were like 15 or 18.
Gotta get to the mic, Tom.
Now, can you just take that mic and bring it
I
to the
was
corner
gonna
of the
push it,
table?
just push this
Yeah,
over
just
so
pull
you can
yep,
wander.
and make sure that's on.
Well, then I can't get him either, so I mean, he really needs to be by the mics.
Oh, you can't hear this one?
And could you take?
No, I.
All right, I'll-
I-
No, leave that on. Sorry. There's two people recording, so leave that number 10 on, right there, and take number 9. That's to your right arm.
Got it.
Yep.
That-
No.
oh,
The
that one.
other,
Okay.
the gooseneck microphone, and grab that and just put it right, yeah, closer to your face so we can hear you. Thank you so much.
All right, go ahead, Bob. Sorry.
Okay, where was I?
All the other lots are
All the other-
small.
Oh, okay.
Compliance
okay,
with the
okay.
area.
Let me stand here. No, the proposed variance is going to be pretty much consistent with a lot of things that are going on with the properties on Woodside Drive as they are. For instance, the house next door to Vugi, the setback is only 41 feet. Now, it's hardly noticeable, but it's a not code compliant. And
Blame the police chief for that one, too.
right. Also, the barn on the east side of Vogi's property, there's a two-car barn, actually. There's a picture in your
The two-story garage, right here, right?
it's historic?
It's an existing two-story garage? Is that
Yeah.
what you're talking about?
Yes.
Okay.
Now, the property line that barn, no, it's a barn. The property line that barn is next to is the rear lot of the lot that fronts on Racebrook Road. So that setback should be, instead of 10 feet, should be 50 feet. And again, I'm not criticizing what has happened in the past. All I'm doing is pointing out to you that there are a lot of inconsistencies as far as zoning is concerned. And if you drive the length of Woodside Drive, it's an attractive street with, half the car garages are one-car garages, and the houses are all neat. This I feel as though this variance is not going to disrupt the quality of the architecture on Woodside Drive.
But doesn't every application stand on its own? The fact that one neighbor may have done something, really, does that have any impact on your client's position? If the neighbor next door got somehow skated by without a variance?
Well, the neighbors' houses were there when Vuki moved in. And as far as the neighbors are concerned, I have 3 letters from each of the abutting property owners.
I'll read these when you're done. I'll read these.
Yes, that would be nice, thank you.
Are these the immediate neighbors?
So is this extending this way?
Yes.
This is extending here?
Right, and the property line is probably along the center line of that green
Of this
strip.
green?
Yeah. So the two-story barn is 10 feet off the property line. You can see it on the drawing.
It's all the same letters, just different signatures. Did you write these letters? All the same letters, it's just a different signature on it.
The police chief wrote it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I typed them up for the convenience of the property owners. Why not?
No, I'm not criticizing. It's probably a good idea. All right, anything else you have for us, Bob?
Let's see.
So this thatched area is only going to be 2 more feet. Is that correct? 22 to 24.
It's gonna be more than that.
No, this is going to be the new part.
Right.
The offset is to this corner right now, it's 21 feet, and it's going to be 12 and a half feet to the new addition.
Check over where those barrels are, right? Is that probably right where those barrels are?
Yeah. Yes.
Anything else of Mr. Heiser here?
I think that completes my presentation.
Anybody else have any questions? All right, I'm going to read into record a couple letters. We have a letter from Richard Smelland Jr. of 749 Racebrook Road, Orange, and Thomas and Cynthia Zakak of 747 Racebrook Road, and it's addressed to the Orange Zoning Board of Appeals.
Angle that mic towards you, I don't know why it's, yes, thank you.
And it says, I will be unable to attend the ZBA public hearing scheduled for Monday evening, November 1st, 2021, for Mr. Amanov's proposal. Am I pronouncing his last name right? How do you pronounce your client's last name?
Imanov.
Ivanov, okay. And I'm reading these 2 letters in. I have no objection to the proposed expansion of his garage. Would speak in favor if I was able to attend. Again, that's Richard Smalin and Tom Zarchuk, and they are the adjacent neighbors. There's also a letter from Linda Greco. I'll be unable to attend the ZBA meeting for Monday evening. I have no objection to proposed expansion of the garage and would speak in favor if I was able to attend. So it appears all the surrounding neighbors have no objection. All right. The place is obviously empty. I don't know if there's anybody online who wishes to speak in favor of the applicant. I don't know. Is there a way to find out?
They're the only people with the link, so.
Okay, so
Nobody else requested it.
and apparently there's no one who wishes to speak in opposition of it. Having said that, is there a motion to close the public aspect of this meeting?
Make a motion.
Greg makes the motion.
Second it.
Kathy seconds it. The meeting is, all in favor of closing the meeting, say aye. Aye. Meeting's closed. You know, it's a smaller variance, keeping in the character of the neighborhood. I mean, the hardship is, it is a unique piece of property. It's been around for a while.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, most houses have 2-car garages. I don't think the impact of what they're doing there is excessive and it doesn't harm the neighborhood the way they got it constructed.
No,
So I don't find a problem with the way it's situated.
all right, is there any other discussion, or is there a motion to grant the variance?
Yeah, the only thing I would mention to him is this, that he used on one of his, as far as hardships, that he's got a construction truck that he parks at his residence. That's been in place for a number of years, as far as not having a commercial vehicle with any kind of advertisement. So I would suggest Xing that bottom portion off. That shouldn't be part of the hardship as far as that. That's self-inflicted.
It's not part of the hardship. It has nothing to do with the land. Perhaps get a magnetic sign on your truck, I don't know.
Right.
Is there a motion to grant the variances as presented?
I make a motion.
Okay,
Second.
Matt makes a motion, Kathy seconds it. Roll call, Deb?
Pat?
Yes. Yes.
Granted.
Greg?
Yes.
Kathy?
Yes.
Matt?
Yes.
Noah?
Yes.
Yeah, granted. All right, you're all set, Bob. Thank you, nice seeing you.
Oh, thank you.
Thank
Is there a
you,
motion
Bob.
to close the meeting?
Make a motion.
Greg makes
Thank
a
you,
motion,
Paul.
Kathy seconds it.
Thank you all for all coming out.
We are
this evening.
adjourned.